Oops. I forgot I had my other BGM on. But hello, it's so good to be back. I'm so excited. And, if you see these little things, did stream break? Maybe. Maybe it did break. Honestly, my internet has not been very good. Hello. Good afternoon, welcome back. Thank you. So I will be going into these little guys a little later, but I will first start off by saying thank you. I honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's been an entire month, almost a month. No, actually, maybe it's more than a month. I don't remember. More than a month since the last time I streamed. So it is going to be a little rusty today. I still have my under eye bags. If I look up here, you can still see them. But I've been working and doing stuff, and I've been planning a lot for content creation, so I got stream avatars, kind of. I'll go into it in just a little bit, but who's excited for spooky season? Because I am. So, first I will be talking about plans, goals, and food. So, do you like my little slideshow, my little presentation? So, Halloween's almost here, and I have a lot of plans for spooky season, and I got some games kind of related to spooky season. So, first will be Halloween games. I got a game called Bewitched. It is a visual novel, and there's a witch in it, and it's really pretty. The art, honestly, maybe that's why I got it. But I got Bewitched, and there's a game called Frog Detective 1 and 2. I think the first one's like Haunted Mansion, and the second one was something to do with a wizard. I kind of forgot. Which is, my bad. Oh yeah, the first one is Haunted Mansion, and the second one is The Case of the Invisible Wizard. Missed chance to make an avatar all Halloween-like. Well, did I really miss? You'll have to see. Maybe I'll get one later on when the time gets closer. And next, I also got a little cute game called Haunt the House Terror Town. I've actually never played this, but it looked really cute. So these games are kind of Halloween themed, but they aren't necessarily very scary. However, as we go down the list, with The Witch's House and Slay the Princess, these two games will be a little more on the like horror end. Witch's House MV, I believe, is a puzzle game. So I'm excited to incorporate a puzzle game, because I love puzzle games, into Halloween games. I may play like a more traditional horror game later on. We'll see if my heart can handle it. I'm not looking to have a heart attack at the moment, but maybe. And then Slay the Princess, of course. Both The Witch's House MV and Slay the Princess I'll be playing later on this week. Slay the Princess is a little more like gory in a way, at least what I've heard. I've never played it myself, and I heard it's fully voiced, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. So I'm very excited to play Slay the Princess. And I got Baldur's Gate 3. I have been wanting to play Baldur's Gate for the longest time, and I finally got the game. It's not necessarily Halloween, but I know the beginning it kind of gets a little bit a little Halloween theme-ish, a little horrifying, terrifying. But yeah, maybe I'll play Baldur's Gate if I get to it. And I was gifted A Little to the Left, which is a puzzle game, not necessarily a Halloween game, but I feel like it would be a nice break in between all of the Halloween games if I get to it. I really want to finish this first group first, because they are more horror or Halloween themed, while the other two, although Baldur's Gate may have aspects of a horror game, at least at the beginning, I might not get to it depending on my schedule. And A Little to the Left is just a little break of a game. Have I ever played Battle Cats? I have not. Would you like to play FNAF Into the Pit? That's FNAF. I'm reading that correctly, right? Maybe. We'll see. One game that was sort of recommended was like Observation Duty, because that game is cost affordable, and I don't know. We'll see if my heart feels like playing horror games or not. Cuz I'm scared. And I want to include learning things as well. So that'll be my second plan for the spooky season. And well, I have made another presentation regarding like graphs. So mathematical graphs and how changing up the formula of the graph can affect something. So I was recommended to play Graph War way back when. And I think there's a lot of spookiness around math sometimes. And let's try to make that less spooky. So that's why I'm gonna do the Graph War or the graph learning stream. I don't think it'll be long enough to do an entire stream, so I'll probably combine it with something else short. I hear the Frog Detective games are pretty short. And I'll also combine it with a more sort of traditional route of learning math, or probably physics. I'm actually quite terrible at physics. Specifically kinematics. I don't know how things move, because I probably don't go outside and look at things move, but I want to incorporate math or learning physics, at least maybe like one stream this month. And then I also mentioned 2 months ago that I liked doing the demo showcase a lot, so maybe I'll have another demo showcase and look for Halloween themed games to do, or just any game if I can't find any first. So yeah, the third thing will be reading cute Halloween stories. So last year I looked for like kind of cute Halloween stories. They're not like spooky. They're honestly, their intention is intended, I mean, the stories, their audience is intended for kids, but who says that I can't enjoy feeling that sort of fun nostalgia? I don't want to read gruesome stories. Sometimes I just want to read cute Halloween stories instead, about little ghosts and cats. So I want to incorporate that as well. Last year I did it, but I do need to get like cleared from the publisher and stuff, so I will have to figure clearing or getting permission from the publisher behind the scenes and stuff. But yes, this is the plan for this month. I hope to get through all of these first. Maybe play a little Baldur's Gate or a little to the left. I will be getting through my little graph presentation that I hopefully will give people a little bit of an understanding. Play a little bit of Graph War, and then maybe include a math or physics stream or a demo showcase stream, and read some cute little stories. What did you think of the Minecraft trailer? I actually haven't seen it, and from what I've heard, I kind of don't want to see it. So yeah. Okay, and more long-term goals. So I want to stream at least 2 times a week. Recently my schedule has been not very great, going to be honest here, but I want to try to increase that as I finalize my schedule moving on. So the reason I said I might not finish all those games is sort of related to this, because I may not be able to stream what I usually try to push for, which is 3 times. But I will at least try to do 2 times. I'm gonna try to make this goal and promise to myself, as long as I'm like doing well, healthy, feeling okay, to stream at least 2 times a week. And oh, more ergonomic and more water. Ah yes, so I've been having a lot of back problems and wrist problems, and my eyesight is not doing very well. It has been getting a lot worse. So ergonomic, I need to sit up straight, which I'm gonna do right now. I don't drink enough water when I'm on stream, because I don't know why. I just always feel bad when I have to like leave to use the bathroom. But if I don't drink water, I'm gonna start growing some stones. So I need to drink more water. And I need to give my eyes a little bit of a break sometimes, as well as my wrists. Because I went to the eye doctor, and it's not looking too great. Well, my eyesight's actually not that bad, all things considered, but it has been getting like worse at a rate that I do not wish to continue, so I want to slow down that rate or stop having my eyesight get worse. I'm gonna be more ergonomic, more water, and check my posture. Yeah. I know, not super exciting, but that's how it's gonna be. And maybe I'll eat a little bit on stream. Sometimes I get a little hungry and I don't want to eat on stream, so... And then my stomach starts to hurt because I don't eat on stream. Yeah. Next would be longer hours on the weekend. So I don't normally have a chance to actually stream on the weekends. But that's okay, because when I do, or when I plan to do stream on the weekends, I want to stream for like 4 hours. So hopefully I can achieve that, build up my stream endurance. I have not been very good at streaming for long hours. Part of it's because I have other responsibilities to do, especially in like later in the day, but on weekends I want to stream for like 3.5 to 4 hours. Set up more collabs. I love doing collabs, and I like talking to other VTubers. It's really nice that a lot of them have like reached out to me, because I'm a little bit socially anxious sometimes. So I would like to try to push myself to set up more collabs for all of this. To set up more collabs and more fun, of course. But scheduling and my social anxiousness tend to get in the way oftentimes. But I will overcome it. I will overcome it eventually. Long-term goal. It won't happen overnight, but it will indeed happen one day. Next is Twitch affiliate. So before I left for my hiatus, I was actually kind of close to getting it, but I didn't exactly achieve it, which is totally fine, but I do kind of want to try to get it. Also, long-term goal. It won't happen overnight, but Twitch affiliate, since I'm a little closer, like on YouTube, I'm there. I know what they call like a partnership program. To achieve that, it's a lot harder than to become a Twitch affiliate, but we'll see. With the Twitch affiliate, hopefully I can maybe get some money so I can reinvest it into other things over here. But just by running ads and stuff, and like, I always wanted emotes. I see people with such cool emotes, and I'm like, I can't do that unless I get Twitch affiliate. I can also do that on YouTube, but for the threshold to actually be able to do that on YouTube, it's a lot higher. And then these little guys, avatars. So these are kind of stream avatars, but at the moment it only works on Twitch, and you have to use the !join. This app is not actually like the stream avatar app. It's actually a game, which I will show in a little bit. It is called Dynamart. So in Dynamart, if you press like !join on Twitch, you can have your little icon, a little guy, just like this bear here that I have for myself. And then you can also interact with it. So if I open the market, if you press !dino, you can actually control the dinosaur and like feed the customers cappuccinos and whatever food they give you. There's also different animals which you can change. I have it all in the command section of Twitch, and unfortunately this does not support YouTube yet. One day I hope it will. I really wish that I could do this for both my YouTube and Twitch chat. That would be nice. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if this would be interesting. If like no one really likes this or no one really cares for it, I might just get rid of it. And then mods. So I was thinking about adding my mods for one of my long-term goals. Not at the moment, but maybe in the future when I feel like there's more of a need for one. Yeah, and there we go. And the dinosaur dances. Okay, let me just do this, and we can actually have all of them float, so have them all go across the screen. Super cute. I think it will be fun. But unfortunately, like I said, it only works on Twitch. So I'm sorry for all the people on YouTube. I know that, like, it sucks. And especially because YouTube is actually, like, my home platform. That's where I started off. I didn't start on Twitch. But hopefully this app starts to integrate YouTube, and maybe even one day I can have, like, custom stream avatars. So, moving on to videos. I would like to start on my other learning videos. So previously I did like unit conversions, so I did like dimensional analysis. I did matrices, matrix operations, and I did like skincare. But I want to try doing something that is related to food, like the science of food. I think that would be a little bit of fun, plus it includes a little bit of learning into it too. A lore video. I've always wanted to make a lore video, even if it's very jank and scuff. I think it would be nice. It would be fun to just have that on my channel so that people could see it or not see it if they don't want to see it. And I want to do one more cover before the end of the year. So because I was on hiatus, I released 3 scuffed covers, and I would like to do one more of them before the end of the year. I would also like to start working on the C++ video series at the beginning of January. So if you were on my Twitter, I talked about wanting to create an entire video series learning a programming language from the beginning to end, and the people who voted there have voted for C++ to be the programming channel, not channel, the programming language that they wanted to see for a possible video series. So I want to work on that at the beginning of January. So this is sort of goals for the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. And making cover the lore of the Max Design Pro channel? Oh, when I said like lore video, I meant like my lore video. Not necessarily lore in general. I meant like the origins of Blueberry and how I became like this. I mean, you can see my cursor. Hold on. It looks really weird. Let me get rid of that actually. And hello! This cursor is gonna annoy me. I didn't notice. Ah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, my lore video, and then I want to do one more scuff cover. And start working on that C++ video series. And behind the scenes stuff, like exciting stuff, I want to start making an actual 2D model, like one that actually tracks the person behind Blueberry, and I feel that way Blueberry can be much more expressive. Because now Blueberry just tracks a mouse. I mean, I'm sure you can sort of tell. I try to move my mouse in certain ways that makes this model a bit more expressive, but at the end of the day, it's still just mouse and voice activated. It's not actually an actual expression, I guess. So I want to start commissioning or learning how to commission someone to make this model. And then I want to be better at photo and video editing. So if you noticed during my scuff covers that I have released the last month, I've been experimenting with a little bit of both photo editing and video editing. They're all silly things, but I've been trying to figure out how to turn a 2D image into a 3D image, how to move things around, not necessarily in a straight line, like moving around like in a squiggly line. And I've been learning how to photo edit better. And I want to come up with a chat name. So I will actually be talking about this. So I actually made a community post about it, and it will be... I'll have like some suggestions in the next slide. Of course, they're only suggestions. I don't really know the finalized one yet, and I want it to be decided with the community because I think that'd be fun. And once the chat name has been determined, I want to sort of make art concepts of the community, like little mascots, and maybe turn those into emotes if I get Twitch affiliate, or like when I get Twitch affiliate, those will be released as emotes and stuff. And then I need to learn about the logistics of commissioning art, because I don't know how to do that. Yeah, it's just behind the scenes stuff I'm gonna work on. And next is a chat name ideas. So here are a few, and I know that some of you came up with these ideas. So someone mentioned teacups, and I came up with some other ones myself. Someone mentioned like cubs, because, you know, bear. And I think that's a really cute idea. But I also came up with some other things. And, you know, barely alive, or stuff like that. Yeah, so if anyone has any idea, you can, I guess, comment on that community post I had, or you can just chat it right now if you feel like you have one. Or tell me which one's your favorite one. So the reason I put strawberries with the question marks, with a bunch of question marks, is because it could be like strawberry, or like raspberry, or blackberries. It would go with the blueberry theme. Strawberry? Yes, that one's a really cute one. So I would be like blue, and then the little mascot could be red. Another personal favorite of mine is the rowberries, because I'm a robot, and berry. Yeah, I think my three favorites, personal favorites, but don't let this sway you, is I like the strawberries, or the berry sort of umbrella group. I like the rowberries, and I like the berry bites. I don't know why I like this one. It sounds like I bite. I mean, I do eat, but berry bites, but spelled like the computer bite. Yeah, if anyone else has another favorite, please comment, or if anyone else has any suggestions. I can't speak. But yeah, so take a look at this, come up with your own ideas if you have any, and let me know. And I will probably make a poll with a lot of these suggestions and see which one people like most. And next is the most exciting part of today. Today's actually going to be a little bit of a shorter stream, because it's food time! And this is the last segment, but there's a lot of food I have to show. So first up, while I was gone on hiatus, I went traveling, sort of. I went traveling for like work-related reasons, but I did travel nonetheless, and I got to try other food that I normally wouldn't try. So I tried chicken biryani. This chicken biryani was very, very tasty, and look how beautiful and vibrant the colors are. That being said, I have a very weak stomach, and I do not do well with spice. And surprisingly, this was actually okay. I think people were telling me that this is weaker than how it normally is, which I kind of do appreciate considering my stomach. But it was pretty good, and it was pretty spicy to me at least. But like I said, I'm pretty weak with spice. The next one I tried was a garden salad. I actually don't like salad, but I kind of like this one, excluding this thing right here. This red, mushy slice right here. I do not like raw tomatoes. Tomatoes themselves are actually okay, just not raw tomatoes. I can't be the only one. I feel like this is common. Raw tomatoes are a huge no for me. The reason I think I like this salad is because it had like a vinaigrette on it instead of ranch. Younger me would have loved the ranch, but these days I'm getting old and tired and crusty. and my bones are crunching. I kind of like vinaigrette now more. But it was super tasty, very fresh. It was a little bit bland, I will say. It was like tasty, but it was also, I don't know. How do I say this? It's a bit plain, but it's not necessarily like bland in terms of taste. It was a good salad. Next up is this beautiful, beautiful pizza. So this pizza is like nothing like nothing like a pizza I've ever tried before. First of all, I'm like used to delivery pizza, you know, your regular delivery pizza. That is like it's good and it's, well, I was gonna say affordable, but not these days. Like your regular pizza that you just get that offers delivery. But this one was at a sit-down restaurant. It had crushed tomato. It's like mozzarella. Like the tomato in here was good. It was tolerable. Crushed tomato, mozzarella, pancetta, which I think is like cured. Is it cured ham? Cured ham. It had sausage like here and some mushrooms, and it had like olive oil, of course, and some garlic. The thing is, this crust was handmade, and most of my food I eat is processed, you know, just like every average American. Most of the food I eat is processed, but like this tasted like bread. It tasted handmade bread, like handmade bread. I don't know how to describe it, but it tasted different. It tasted less processed. I know that's like a weird explanation, but it tasted less processed, and I really enjoyed it. And I can finally taste what bread tastes like. And that was very tasty. So next would be... the bread is breading. Absolutely. Are there ways to connect OBS to your mobile device to make videos of mobile games? Honestly, I don't know, and I've actually never tried, because I don't really play mobile games. But I'm sure there's a way, because I've seen other people do it. For stuff like this, I usually just like type a quick Google thing, and then see what happens, see what results I get. And this one was also at the pizza place. You can see the bread over here, the bread that is breading at the bottom of the camera. This is burrata crostini. Now, as I have mentioned, I don't like raw tomato. However, because everything else in here was so good, I actually ate the raw tomato. Which is shocking. Because I despise raw tomato. Like, look at these seeds. Don't tomato seeds kind of look just like not appetizing at all? They look kind of disgusting, for lack of a better term. But this was good. So this was burrata cheese. So burrata cheese is very like soft cheese. It's very light. I think it's even lighter than your average mozzarella cheese. And it was super creamy and light, and a sliced tomato, of course. It had like avocado oil and then parsley on top of it, and then this bread down here is crostini, and here the bread was indeed breading, because the bread was so good. I think it was also handmade, and of course it was toasted. It's a little bit charred, but because it was like toasted, it was almost kind of like a cracker. And so it was kind of crunchy, but then you have like this creamy cheese on top of it, and a little bit of like a freshness coming from the tomato, and it just tasted wonderful. I never knew raw tomato could taste so good. Gotta go. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. I just waved my hand. Thank you, I appreciate it. But yes, everything in this, it kind of looks very simple, but I don't know, there was just so much flavor in this. And next we have chicken pot pie. But this chicken pot pie actually wasn't very special. The actual like filling of it was very, very, very salty. Way too salty. That being said, it looks beautiful, and that's because the crust was beautiful. And it tasted beautiful. I love when the crust of chicken pot pie is, you know, a little bit flaky. It was the perfect amount of like flakiness. It just like the crust was crusty. The crust was crusty. The inside of the chicken pot pie wasn't that great, to be honest. And I feel like you can kind of see it doesn't look that great. It just felt like a thicker chicken soup stew. Like if you turn chicken noodle soup without the noodles into a stew, then so I guess if you turn chicken soup into a stew and added a little bit of cream, it would just taste like this. Oh, also like pour in extra salt, like way too much salt. I will like say just really the breading outside was the best part. It wasn't super special, but I like the breading and it looks beautiful in pictures at least. Next up, we have chicken soup. So, here's where I will be talking about how processed American food is, if you know. Because a lot of times when you order chicken soup, your chicken comes in tiny little cubes. That doesn't look like chicken. It's because it's grinded up chicken, put into like some mold, and then like smashed together, and it's in perfect cube shape. But this chicken soup had actual chicken right here. This is like a piece of chicken. Like an actual piece of chicken. It had vegetables. The noodles in it were very, very good. They were also kind of like chopped up so that I could just grab it with my spoon, which is why didn't I think about that when I made chicken noodle soup previously? Sometimes I just put the entire like noodle in there and then I need a fork. And it's not spaghetti where you like where it's part of the experience, you know? Twirling your little fork is part of your experience when you eat spaghetti. But this, you break the noodles into your soup, and also that way that the noodle starts absorbing some of the flavor of the soup. Big brain, yeah, I know! So when you break it, a lot of times, since there's kind of like more surface area in a way, because there's like, the ends are now broken, the noodles start getting a lot softer faster, and it was good. This is probably the best chicken noodle soup I've had, outside of my mother's. But no one can beat my mom's. But this was really good. It was kind of salty for my personal liking, but most people like things saltier than I like them. However, if I go back here, this was way too salty. Probably way too salty for everyone. And it had like pepper and celery, carrots, a little bit of bell pepper. I never seen bell pepper in chicken noodle soup either, but it was good. And the next one, doesn't this look fancy? This is ragu pasta. So, oh, if you're vegan, I'm so sorry. Because all of my dishes have some form of animal product in it. But yeah. So this one had beef, which was barbecued and like sliced. It had ricotta on top, so that's what this. I will say though, the ricotta tasted not like ricotta. For some reason, it was really sour, but it wasn't like bad. It didn't go bad. It wasn't like the type of sour that means that the ricotta went bad. It was more so that they added something into the ricotta that made it a little bit like thicker and a little bit tangy, if that makes sense. It was not sour. Tangy is the word I was trying to look for. And then here's like a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then this cut of noodle was flat, and it was like a flat, thick noodle. And I love this noodle so much. One of my favorite noodles. I think it's called like pappardelle? I'm sorry. But this cut of noodle was perfect. The place I went to also like boiled the noodles perfectly. So you know how sometimes noodles can be too hard, it can be too soft. There's like al dente, which is slightly undercooked. I feel like this was just perfect right in between. It wasn't too soggy, so it had a little bit of structure, but it wasn't too undercooked where it had like it was too chewy. Sometimes I don't like al dente pasta because it's too chewy for me, at least for my personal preference. But this pasta was really good. Moral of the story, this pasta's good. And tandoori chicken. Look at the colors of this. A lot of Indian food has so much color and like so much spices and flavor. Like you can just smell the flavor, and this one looks super good, and the spices were really good. Surprisingly, this one is, or I guess maybe unsurprisingly, I don't really know how it is. Sorry, I'm a bit uncultured. But the tandoori chicken was less spicy than the chicken biryani. And it is beautiful. Look at this. It was like two chicken thighs. Yeah, one, and then there's another one here. And it had rice, but I couldn't finish it because it was too much for me. That being said, the chicken was a tad, just a tad bit dry. I feel like it was slightly, ever so slightly overcooked. But maybe that's how it's supposed to be. That being said, I would eat this again, and it was great. So, pad see ew is it's a Thai dish where you have, I think, like stir-fried noodles, eggs. In mine, I had, I think, pork. I think that's what this is. It's either pork or beef. I kind of forgot. And eggs. Did I say eggs and carrots? And it was really good. So the place I went to was sort of a Thai restaurant, and it was like straight up a hole-in-a-wall restaurant. And the inside was really warm, but that's when you know when the food's good. When it's like a hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and it's just some like 3 people working, and you can see them working. This was so good. I loved the texture of the rice noodle so much. It's also like a flat, well, I mean, you can see it. It's sort of like thicker and it's flat, and I love this type of rice noodle. I think in terms of rice noodle, this is my absolute favorite type of rice noodle cut. But it's very, very, very tasty. And a sandwich. I don't know what to call this. It's just called a cheese sandwich. But this sandwich was a little bit special. They used sourdough bread. That being said, the bread was not breading as much as the pizza previously, because this sourdough bread tasted like it could have just been store-bought. Blue, hello! I'm talking about sandwiches! Welcome! So this sourdough bread was toasted, and it had jack cheese, or I think it's called like Monterey Jack cheese, or Jack. So Jack cheese is like a white cheese that is more mild versus some other cheeses. I think it's a hard cheese. I don't really know. And then there's a little bit of tomato, but this tomato was cooked or like warmed up, so it was more tolerable for my taste palette. And it had some basil in it. Super cheesy. It was super good though, overall, considering what it was. Bread could have been breading a bit more, but yeah, it was so good. If you love cheese, I feel like maybe when I was younger, I didn't really like cheese nearly as much as I do now, and I'm starting to learn to like cheese. So maybe the next time I make a sandwich, I will stuff it with cheese just like this. Chicken salad sandwiches. Oh, like chicken sandwich, but with a lot of vegetables. I don't like tomato, but almost every food has got tomato in them. You know, you're right. I didn't even realize. Wait, hold on. Where'd the chat box go? I just realized no one saw your messages. I am a streamer. I've been streaming for a while now. I'm a little rusty. I came back from hiatus. But here's the thing, like, tomatoes is actually not that bad as long as it's, like, cooked. So this was kind of cooked because all the cheese had to melt. It was put in, like, a hot panini press where they... 2 hot plates, they stick the sandwich inside and they warm it up. So it was actually okay. So here is... I went to a sort of... Well, it's like a Japanese-American restaurant with a family member of mine, and we had a lot of teriyaki meats right here. I had California rolls, so shumai, these little like fried balls, gyoza, and I had tempura. This was really good. Surprisingly, I liked the... Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Surprisingly, I didn't like the... I just forgot what these are called. Egg rolls. I didn't like the egg rolls too much. And I've had, like, deep fried shumai before, but I didn't really like them. But this time, when I tried it again, I liked the shumai quite a bit. And the teriyaki meats, it was like chicken, pork, and then some, like, beef. Yeah, first row was chicken, second row was pork, and this row was beef. The California rolls are very tasty, always a classic. I actually, here's another food fact about me. I don't really like traditional sushi or like raw fish, and I don't know why. I've tried eating it many times before. The family member I actually went with also didn't really like sushi when he was younger, but then when he grew up, he started to like sushi, so he was kind of like, I felt kind of bad because he wanted to eat something with sushi, but I was like, can we have California rolls? But if you're not into sushi and you haven't tried a California roll yet, I would highly suggest it. This is made up of avocado, so that's what the green thing is. We have this mixture, which is, I believe, like Japanese mayonnaise with imitation crab meat. And then, of course, rice, seaweed, and some sesame sprinkled on top. And here's a little bit of wasabi and some ginger out of the picture. That being said, at this place, honestly, the teriyaki meats kind of let me down. A lot of them were way too dry, and personally, I think there was too much teriyaki sauce. It was like drowning. I mean, like you can see the puddles of teriyaki sauce around it. It was drowning in teriyaki sauce. I do like teriyaki sauce, but not this much. On top of that, at this place, I felt like they added extra sugar. Which I didn't really like. Like, teriyaki sauce, I understand, there's like a sweet element to it, but this place, it was kind of sticky. It was almost like glazed, but not in the good way, because I know like salty and sweet things can be very tasty, but this was not the best. However, the tempura. I love tempura. I love specifically like is it like a squash or zucchini type of tempura? This green one. I don't know what it is. I kind of just eat whatever. As long as it doesn't make me sick and give me an allergic reaction, I kind of just eat it, even if I don't really like it too much. But I think it's a zucchini or like a squash thing. I like that one the most. There's of course shrimp tempura, which is also a classic. There's like sweet potato. There's two types of... I don't know what's the difference between like a sweet potato and other types of sweet potato. So the one back here behind the zucchini was also sweet potato, but it had like a purple outside and a yellow inside. And this one is more like your orange sweet potato. I also feel the difference of what I liked as a kid and now. Well, I still like some candies, but not too much sugar. Yeah, me too. I feel like nowadays I like things that are less, like something that isn't too strong. Before I would be able to like eat tons of sugar and tons of salt and like enjoy that, but now I'm like, oh, that's too much. That's way too much. And next up, we have Egg Benedict. So, this is Egg Benedict with smoked salmon. So that's this, what this like pink salmon color is. It's smoked salmon. And then underneath, if you can see a little bit of green, that green is some vegetables. It's sort of like a fresh. It was almost like salad mix, but it wasn't exactly salad. Well, I mean, it's not a salad, but they might have put salad mix onto this Egg Benedict. And then up top, there is a hollandaise. Hollandaise sauce. Although it looks really good, honestly, it was kind of a disappointment. This hollandaise sauce solidified super quickly, and I didn't really like that. It also had sort of a mustardy element, and although I do like mustard in certain amounts, I felt that this was a little overpowering. It was a bit too much mustard flavor. And then at the bottom of the Eggs Benedict, of course, is the classic toasted English muffin, but I'm pretty sure they just bought that one in bulk from the store. Nice, never had salmon, looks tasty. Oh, salmon has a very interesting profile. It's very like fishy. I actually didn't like salmon as a kid, but now I do. And smoked salmon is not like regular cooking of salmon, it's also like cured at a specific heat. And it's very lovely. Hello Yoshio! Welcome back, thank you! Oh, but since you're on Twitch, if you press, if you do the command !join, you can add yourself to the little avatars if you wish. I also have like more information in the command section, like below the stream. But yeah, I hope it's working. Oh no! Wait, try it not all caps. But continuing on, this, although looks really like pretty on pictures, didn't taste very lovely. Oh, and there you are, you're a fish! It didn't taste very good. And next one is curry. It's curry and fried octopus. So what I'm holding in my chopsticks is fried octopus. It's a fried taco. And then I had curry and then rice and some fried croquettes. So these fried like vegetable croquettes had potato in them, but honestly, I didn't really like them. It was too much. It was sort of like if you just fried the outside of mashed potato and put a little bit of peas and some vegetables in them. I kind of regret not getting something that had meat. Well, I guess I did get the little fried baby octopus. And although this baby octopus looks scary, it was very tasty. Honestly, the octopus tasted better than the curry. But sometimes it is just like that. Oh, you're not floating. Hold on. Let me make all of you float. There we go. Yeah, now they're all floating. But the fried octopus was fried to perfection. It was crispy, and it wasn't too, like, overly done or too... Like, sometimes you don't fry it enough and it doesn't taste that good. It looks scary. Yeah, well, I guess that's what you mean. But it does kind of look scary at first. I did grow into liking fried octopus. When I was younger, I actually didn't really like any seafood. I was quite picky as a kid. But I think this was better than the curry. Next up is plain old breakfast. Nothing super interesting here. But I had some bacon, some eggs. These were like not, I don't know if they were like the legit type of eggs, like scrambled eggs. I had some sausages, and I had an egg white omelet with ham, tomato. Everything truly does have tomato. Maybe I don't hate tomatoes. I didn't even realize it, but it's all cooked tomatoes. I don't like raw tomatoes. So tomatoes, bell pepper, I believe I also added mushroom and spinach. So it was like a vegetable omelet with ham. It's pretty good. Nothing really much to say here. It's just a classic, an American breakfast classic. Next up we have gimbap, which is a sort of like the Korean version of a sandwich. Or at least I've been told that in Korea they sort of treat this like a sandwich. So it has pickled radish, which is this yellow thing, spinach, which is the green, carrots, which is the orange, and eggs. And this little bit here is beef. Bacon. I do love bacon. This bacon was crispy. That was probably the best part of this meal, but nothing truly much. And of course, rice and seaweed, or gim. Yeah, this was very tasty. The thing is, I think the place I bought it, I've had better gimbap before, or gimbap? I don't know how to pronounce it too well. I'm sorry. Gimbap. This was the thing is the seaweed was a bit like tough. It wasn't that it was like hard. It was just very flexible and stretchy to the point where it was kind of hard to like chew and eat. Yeah, kimbap. I don't know. I've seen it done both ways, with a K or a G. So I don't know the actual correct way to write it. So I put it in Google, and Google told me G. So I wrote it as G. But this place I went to, it was okay. For what it was okay. I just didn't really like the seaweed too much. It was a little bit too stringy. I felt like it wasn't fresh. That's about it. It wasn't completely fresh, but it wasn't bad or anything because my stomach didn't hurt. Didn't get sick. Or maybe my own cooking has made me become food poisoning resistant. Next one, garlic shrimp. Now, I would like to spend a few seconds just looking at it. Looking at its beautifulness. Alright, that's enough. So this was garlic shrimp. It had fried garlic, olive oil, like lemon and butter, and a whole lot of garlic. Did I say garlic? So it was essentially covered in like a garlic butter, plus lemon, plus olive oil, with more garlic, and there are like 2 scoops of little rice. If you're not into garlic, I feel like this would not be the dish for you. But I love garlic things. I love garlic as a flavor, and the shrimp was cooked perfectly. So sometimes shrimp can be overcooked where it sort of shrivels up and there isn't much of a how do I say, like, there isn't much of a bounce? Like, the texture of shrimp is not the same when it's overcooked, and when it's undercooked, you will get sick. But this was like perfectly in between. It was one of those things where it's such a small thing of getting the shrimp cooked correctly, but it just everything was perfect. Vampire's nightmare. Yes, it is true. I'm protected against vampires now. Yeah, after eating this, as soon as you talk to them, they'll be warded off. And then there's like an extra little lemon bit, but I felt like they already put enough lemon for me. I like lemon things, and this was pretty good. And the thing is, I noticed that they cooked it with the shell on, which made it a little bit harder to eat. I'm a person who doesn't like using my hands to eat unless I just wash my hands right before, or I have like those gloves. So I kind of just tried my best to remove the shell. That being said, I would still eat this again. Like, it was just that good. There's a little bit of annoyance with the shell, but everything else was perfect. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Let's spend another few more seconds just looking at it. Okay, next one. Udon and tempura crab. So crab is in quotations because it's not real crab. It's imitation crab. But I had udon with this beef and a like soft-boiled egg, but it wasn't boiled all the way through, so the inside, I wish I took a picture of it when I like cut the egg open, but I didn't because I forgot. I saw it and I just wanted to eat it, but it was like soft-boiled where the inside is like slightly runny, where it creates sort of this like it creates like a different texture than your normal hard-boiled egg. And it was even better than most soft-boiled eggs, because I know sometimes soft-boiled eggs they're a little bit too hard to be called soft-boiled, in my opinion. At least when I eat food. But this was good. I really like the texture of the udon, it was good. The soup base was honestly a little bit too sweet for my liking. I know that a lot of udon soup bases are supposed to be sweet, and I've had many udons that are sweet, but this one was sweeter than I kind of was expecting it to taste. And also the beef was sweet, like very sweet. The beef was very, very sweet. Just a little bit reduction of sugar than I would have liked this. I would have enjoyed it a bit more. The tempura crab. Cloned crab. I guess the crab that was made inside a lab. That rhymes. Anyways, so this tempura crab was actually really, really good. I don't know what they did, but this was like the closest it got to sort of having the same texture of an actual crab. And you kind of can't see it in the photo, but it was the size of an like actual crab leg. But yeah, when you bit into it, like the crispy outside and the inside was a bit soft. And I did dip it into the udon, and that was really good when I dipped it into the udon. I felt like because this was so salty and this was kind of like a little sweeter than I normally would have had my udon with, it sort of balanced it out. Is it like vegan version of crab? No, at least I don't think so. I think imitation crab meat still includes like fish. It's sort of like if you took it's like a fish hot dog. I think they make it out of like the parts of fish and various sea creatures that people normally eat, but the parts where people don't eat, they just grind it up, send it somewhere. Yeah, yo, fish glizzy. And they send it somewhere, and they make a crab hot dog or fish glizzy. But yeah, I would describe it more as a fish hot dog. Because I don't think it's actually vegan. Okay, next one. Fish sausage. Yeah, fish sausage. Okay, so I also went to a yakiniku inspired barbecue. It wasn't true yakiniku, but it was yakiniku inspired. And honestly, my second favorite dish from this wasn't the meat, it was the tofu. The tofu was so soft, it was so nice, and it was, I don't know what they put in this, because I tried like finding the description and I couldn't find it. But it was very light. It had like, I think from what I remember. It had like sesame oil with a little bit of like salt, and it was super light though. Have you had the beef tongue? I actually have, but not here. I didn't actually have it here. I've had beef tongue before. Oh, soy sauce. Maybe it was soy sauce. But the thing about this was like, I liked how light it was, considering to like everything else I ate, all the meat. This was a very nice, refreshing like palate cleanser, in a way. But it wasn't a palate cleanser because it tasted so good. And in the middle here we have, it was beef, and it was covered in, is it tar sauce? Tare sauce? T-A-R-E? I can't read. T-A-R-E. It's a glaze with soy sauce, sake, and some sugar and sweet mirin. But this time, it sounds super sweet. But this time I actually like the sweetness of this. It added, I think it's because it balanced so nicely with whatever salt they added into the beef while it was sort of marinating. So the sweet and salty sort of balanced out, and it was really nice. Also, the beef they gave us had a lot of fat, which I think you can see it here, which made it, of course, very... I don't want to say moist, but I don't know what else word. The beef was not dry. That's so cute. I actually haven't seen that skin. But I think if you want a particular skin, you can type the name of the animal. I don't know, to be honest. So if like I wanted the skin, I typed in exclamation mark skin and then bear. Oh, they have a cat! Okay, and the next would be, it's sort of like just a cut of meat. So this was already like cooked. And then there was some like sweet rice underneath as well, like as a dish. It was pretty good. I preferred the middle more than I preferred this sort of like cut of, how do I describe this? Like steak? It wasn't actually steak, but this cut of steak I enjoyed, but I liked the middle one better, and then I liked the tofu one the most. Kind of like sushi, but with the beef slice. Yeah, kind of. Next one. So, I had Hawaiian food. But you're not floating. I want to make all of you float. Okay, there you go. So, here's a bunch of them. Let's start off with the one I didn't like, I guess. This one had raw tomato. The tomato was indeed not cooked. So, lomi salmon it has onions, tomatoes, and smoked salmon? Oh, salted, like, smoked salmon, I believe. Hold on, I need to sneeze. Give me 1 sec. Alright. So I had this. I didn't like this. I went with my mom. My mom actually liked this. She was like, it tastes like salsa, but with more elements. Which it did. But I just don't like raw tomato. Okay, next one is the luau squid? Luau squid. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. But this was kind of like, it was almost like a thick sauce or like a paste. Or maybe like baby food is a good way to sort of describe the texture. That being said, it did not taste anything like baby food. It was much better. So this is like squid. So squid like is cut up. You can't actually, well, I guess this is squid right here. You can't really see it, and it is within taro leaves. So the reason why it's green, it's because it's made out of taro leaves. I've never had taro leaves before. I've had taro, but not taro leaves, and I really, really enjoyed it. It did have quite a bit of like fishiness because of the squid, but because of, I think, the way the taro leaves sort of balanced out the flavor profile, it was good. Next we have the classic Kahlua pork, the pulled pork. This pork was really salty. It was good, but also very, very salty. And it was like a tad bit dry to what I'm used to when it comes to Kahlua pork, but that being said, I actually kind of realized I like it a little bit drier. My only personal issue is that this was a tad bit too salty for me. But yeah, and my favorite thing on this page is the short ribs. So these are short ribs, however, they aren't just like regular short ribs, because they had sort of this glaze. So this glaze was, it was almost like it was candied. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The glaze was not like a sauce glaze. It was kind of hard, and where it was kind of like a candied, like it was like candy, but it wasn't candy because it wasn't too sweet. Like, as I've mentioned before, I don't really like too sweet things, but this was just perfect. This was my favorite thing I've ate all last month while I was on my hiatus. I don't know how to explain it. It was perfect. I love short ribs. Me too. That's another thing. I kind of just like short ribs in general. But the way that this was made, it was different. And poi. Yes, poi. Also, well, I wouldn't say it had that sort of like grinded up baby food texture. I actually liked the texture. It was sort of like, how do I explain the texture? The texture was of like a thick sauce, but it wasn't creamy. So poi is taro. So here we have the taro leaves being utilized, and then we have the taro. I actually really like poi. Like I said, I went with my mom, and she hated poi. But poi is grounded, like, mashed up taro, and it turned into a sort of, like, paste or, like, sauce. And I liked it. My mom didn't like it because it was sort of, like, sour. And so I searched it up, actually, because I was like, why is it sour? When I think of taro, I don't necessarily think of something being sour, unless they've, like, added something else into it. So apparently, once you, like, mash up the taro, if you leave it to sort of, like, if you leave it for a little bit, it will start to slightly ferment. Kind of like yogurt or kimchi or pickles, where things will slightly ferment a little bit, and that's where the sourness comes from. But I like, my favorite thing about poi was actually the texture. I don't know exactly how to compare it to. If you ever had, like, tapioca, and you're ever to mash that and turn that into a sauce or a paste, I would imagine that's how this texture was like. It was very runny, but it wasn't like a cream pasta sauce that you may think of. Yeah, but poi was very tasty to me, personally. My mom did not like it. So if you don't like the sourness of, like, yogurt, or you don't like the sourness of, like, pickles and stuff like that, I would suggest maybe skip on this. But if you do, then this would be nice. It's just a tad bit, like, sour. Fermented. That's interesting. Yep, some yogurt is sour. Yeah. I want to try poi. You should. I would suggest people trying it once, just to try it out. You might not like it, but I think it's a nice time to try. I never had authentic Hawaiian food but the barbecue. Oh. Like Hawaiian barbecue, that, like, those chains that they have everywhere. Yeah. This was certainly an experience. I liked everything except the lomi salmon, but I feel like if I actually finally got used to the taste of raw tomato, I would like it, but I just can't get used to the taste of raw tomato. And next up, I kind of had, like, dim sum. So, okay, I would like to first address why these are these colors. The answer is, I have no idea. The place I went to decided to color the like rice dough. These colors, I don't know why. Normally I've had like dim sum before. Normally it's kind of like whitish, translucent white with a little bit of clear. I don't know why this is black and I don't know why this is pink. But it is what it is. I usually don't like sour food, but I'm interested on trying it. Ah, yeah, I would suggest trying poi, but I don't think it'll be everyone's cup of tea. But normally it's like a translucent white. And inside is some like shrimp, and this was actually pretty good. Despite its horrific coloring. It's almost radioactive coloring, I don't know why. So here is shumai. So as I've mentioned previously in like the Japanese food, they also had shumai, but that was sort of like fried and tempora'd. Tempora'd, is that a verb? Can I use that as a verb? It was fried and like had tempura batter, and yeah. This was more, how do I say this? It was obviously less oily because it wasn't fried. But they had like such different flavor, I believe, because this is more of like the Chinese way of making shumai, while the other one was more of the Japanese way, and they are both really different. I really like them. My personal preference is a slight towards this one. I feel like the flavor was lighter, or maybe that place I went to just wasn't that great, which is kind of what I'm thinking now, considering everything was like their teriyaki sauce was just, it was too much. And then this little orange thing, which looks like an orange. It's not an orange. It's actually a bao, so it's a little bread thing with something in the middle of it. Hello, and thank you for subscribing. Radioactive, just look like artificial color. I mean, you're gonna tell me that this pink looks like natural? It looks it's like blindingly bright. To be fair, I guess the bao is probably more of a radioactive color. I don't know why. This is orange. It's normally like white, like up here. Yeah, normally the bao is white, but I don't know why it's like a radioactive orange color. Even oranges aren't this orange. But it had red bean inside. And the red bean was really nice. Light bit of sweetness. I don't really like the texture of red bean too much, but because of the flavor, I will still enjoy red bean because the flavor, I like the flavor more than I dislike the texture. And here's little green bean in the little corner. But yeah, this was very tasty. Overall, I would say it's very interesting to see the differences between like the Chinese shumai and the Japanese shumai. If they are both authentic, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't know why these are these colors, but they're pretty good. And I had hot pot. The hot pot wasn't anything too special. This is the first time I've had like these little pouches. So apparently this character means like luck or fortune. I went with a friend and they said that this character meant luck or fortune. So I can't confirm because unfortunately my 2 years of learning how to read Chinese did not work out too well. And then I had like beef brisket and some like Napa cabbage in here, and I think spinach as well. This is pretty nice. Very, very nice, cozy food. I feel like I would love eating hot pot. I would want to eat hot pot every day when it's cold, because it's so easy. You just like put in some water, get some soup base. You can just throw in whatever you'd like, and then it tastes great. Color out of 10. Yes, the flavor was color out of 10. And next up is seafood. Once again, I know that this might scare some people with the octopus. It scared me when I was younger too. But this was like an octopus salad. So it had bell peppers and cucumbers, and it was covered in a sort of vinaigrette type of dressing in a way. So it was a little bit like sour in terms of like vinegar sour. But honestly, it was pretty good. I was surprised that this didn't taste nearly as fishy as I expected to. Because seafood oftentimes like has that like fishiness, but this, like, that's ocean sea flavor that seafood has. And it didn't have that. Maybe it was because of the dressing on top or the... Oh, you know what it was? It wasn't like necessarily vinegar. It was like sort of like... Have you ever had like pickled cucumbers, but not like pickles? I know pickles are pickled cucumbers, but not like the fully pickled cucumbers. It's kind of like that. That's how it tasted like in terms of the dressing, but it was pretty good. The texture was a bit interesting. I don't think I've had like octopus of this texture. Usually I have octopus and it's fried, so of course the texture changes, but I kind of like it. It looks really chewy, but it's actually not super chewy. Well, it's not as chewy as you would expect it to be. And here we have crab. Yeah, it's just crab. Nothing super special, just some crab legs. You know, fun fact about me is that I actually can't touch seafood. Like, I have a skin allergy to seafood, so it's really difficult for me to, like, peel shrimp or open crab, which is why previously, when I talked about, like, the garlic shrimp, I didn't want to peel it with my hands. As well as the fact that I don't like touching my food with my hands unless I've just washed them. Although, like, my allergy usually gets worse when it comes to crab or, like, lobster. For shrimp, it's not as bad, but, like, I can handle it. I'm not gonna die. It's not life-threatening allergy, so don't worry. So, like, I could peel shrimp and be relatively fine. I'll just feel a little, like, irritation on my skin. But for crab, I, like, get a rash. So, there's that. But did I still eat this? Yes. Did I still, break this myself? Yes. And I just simply washed my hands after and, like, tried to take care of it. But usually if I immediately wash my hands after breaking all the crab legs, I'll be, for the most part, fine. Just with a little bit of mild irritation, similar to the shrimp. But it's worth it. You know, some things in life are just worth doing. Pickled cucumber. That's not pickled. That's a normal cucumber? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the traditional American pickled cucumber is normally, like, I don't know how to say this. It was different than that. It was not as pickled. I'd say maybe like a pickled cucumber that was not all the way to being a complete pickle. It was sort of like in between a slightly pickled cucumber. I guess that's what I mean. Crab is always a special occasion for me. Yes, me too. It is for me. That day was a special occasion, sort of. But I love crab so much. I love seafood, if anyone has been noticing. And maybe I've been liking tomato a bit more than I initially thought. And next up is we're almost to the end of the stream. It's sweets, desserts. My favorite part of a meal. The part that isn't supposed to be a meal. The sweets. I like sweet things. I have a sweet tooth, but I don't like when things are too sweet. You know what I mean? Or, like, I feel like I don't like when things are sweet when I don't think they are supposed to be sweet. If that makes sense, does that make sense? For example, when I expect something to be salty from eating something that is intended to be more savory, I want that to be a bit more savory. Like, I don't mind a bit of a sweetness profile, but sweetness should not be overpowering the savory part. But sweets are supposed to be sweet, so I like that when they are sweet. So here we have something called Pog Juice. Pog. Pog Juice. So Pog Juice stands for passion fruit, orange, and guava. It's a very like tropical juice. It's very, very tasty. It's a bit, well, orange and a little bit red. These two pictures were taken in different lighting. But Pog Juice was very lovely. So I've tried like passion fruit on its own, and I've tried guava on its own, and of course I've tried orange juice on its own, but I think combining all the three just adds so much more dimension to it. So it's sort of like a little bit tangy with a little bit of like guava's... How do I say this? So orange is like the tanginess, so that's where I get like the tanginess, and the passion fruit guava is usually like more on the sweeter side compared to, well, actually orange juice is sweet, but it's less tangy. So passion fruit and guava are like slightly less tangy, and then you combine all three and it's a little bit tangy with a lot of sweet and passion fruit flavor. The orange juice, the orange is sort of like an aftertaste for me at least, and then so how do I explain this? Man, I'm really bad at explaining food. So when you first drink it, I first taste the passion fruit, and then I taste the guava, and then I taste the orange. And it's very interesting. A lot of levels of flavor. And here we have shaved ice, plus mochi! So over here I have guava, so the red is the guava shaved ice, and the yellow is actually lemon. I regret getting the lemon. I wish I got pineapple instead. But the lemon was okay, it just tasted like a lemon drop. The guava was good though. Guava tasted very... It didn't taste like a candy, if that makes sense. It tasted like shaved ice that was guava flavored. But this one sort of tastes like a lemon drop with water. But however, my favorite part of the shaved ice was how smooth it was, and I loved the mochi and how soft it was. So oftentimes, something that people will compare shaved ice to is like a snow cone. And snow cones do not have the texture that shaved ice has, because shaved ice is super smooth. It's super fine. It's like very powdery. Snow cones taste like broken glass. I'm not taste like, they feel like broken glass. It's just like someone took a block of ice and took a hammer and started going and hitting the ice, and then put some like blue food coloring syrup on it and then gave it to you. That's just like a snow cone. This was like done very nicely with a blade to where it was almost like powdery snow, so that you could just scoop it easily with a spoon. And the mochi was super, super, super soft. It was really good. I really like soft mochi. It was usually when I have mochi, it's a lot harder, but this one was really, really soft. I think what's on top of it is like either more flour or cornstarch to stop them from sticking to itself. But yeah, the fresh mochi was honestly the best part. The second best part was how fine the ice was shaved. And then I like the guava and the lemon. Do you like mango? I do like mango. You know, that would have been another good option if I weren't in my lemon mood. That day I just felt like having some lemon. And I regret it now. Well, sort of. It wasn't bad. It was still good. Like, I don't regret eating it. It's not like I would throw it away, but I kind of wish I got a different flavor. That's all. Next, strawberry soda. So, I had the soda, and it was a strawberry soda. There's not much to say about this sweet thing, or sweets. But this soda tastes exactly like this candy. I actually didn't have this candy. I just put a picture here for reference. So imagine if you like could juice these strawberries. That's what this soda tastes like. It was super sweet, which I really liked at the beginning, but over time it sort of became a little overwhelming, but I still really enjoyed it because it reminded me of like, it's got that nostalgic factor, reminding me of these little candies. What's next? Oh, yuzu creme brulee. So this was wonderful. It was beautiful, and I would like to spend a few seconds just looking at it. Alright, so now I will explain what this creme brulee is. So the creme brulee cream had a bit of like yuzu flavoring inside, or I think it was like yuzu. I don't know what they did to the cream, but it was so think of a regular creme brulee, but then add a bit of like citrus flavor, just a little bit, enough to make it enough to add the creme brulee another profile, like flavored dimension, to add dimension to the flavor profile. Yeah, this was this. I like the flavor of yuzu, but sometimes it can be very overpowering. But this time, it was like done perfectly. It wasn't super overpowering where it just felt like I'm only having yuzu flavor. There was still like the burnt sugar on top, which you can sort of taste when you like took a scoop of this creme brulee. And yeah, everything was just good. And with the berries on top, these berries were a bit tart, but I think it balanced everything out super well. That candy tastes even better than real strawberries. That's true, it does. Strawberries are too sour. Strawberries are nice, but sometimes they can, depending on what season you get them and how good your strawberries are. They can be too tart, a little bit too sour. But in reference to these strawberries, they were actually okay. I kind of liked the fact that they were quite tart because it balanced out the sweetness of the burnt sugar and the cream on top. But yeah, this was good. I don't know what else to say. It was just it was good. And ube bread. So this is a very zoomed up picture of bread. And no, it is not moldy, but it has ube in it. So ube is like that purple yam looking thing. And they made it into like a sweet bread. So this is a sweet bread. It's not like regular bread. And it was really nice. It was also super soft. And although it's not really appetizing, granted that's partly because I took the picture really badly. But it was super soft, it was really nice, and I enjoyed eating this. Also, I like toasted this, and this toasted is wonderful because the outside is a little bit crispy, but the inside is still super soft, and it's like sweet. And it's got that slight ube flavor, which adds kind of a bit of like nuttiness to it, and it tasted phenomenal. If you ever get your hands on ube bread, I suggest eating it without toasting and then eating it with toasting. Or putting it in the toaster and then eating it. And then I think this is our last one, but it's a s'more. Nothing much to say about this, but classic s'more. Very lovely. Slightly toasted. You can see a little bit of like brown. And of course there's like cheap chocolate. Super sweet, super cheap chocolate. But honestly, that's the best type of chocolate to eat with s'mores, when it's like super sweet. And then some graham crackers. And yeah, thank you! And I guess that's pretty much it for the stream. I wanted to start off easy, but I want to remind everyone that I do have ideas for a chat name. However, if you have a preference or any suggestions, please tell me. You make it in a campfire? Yeah, you can. You can make it in a campfire. I actually made s'mores in a microwave before. Those don't usually get toasted. Like, they don't become golden brown. I think you can make it over a stove, but I believe a campfire is the the best because it captures the soul of the s'more. But yeah, I have chat name ideas, and the reason why I want to try and come up with the chat names because I would like to commission some art for some things, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. But if any of you like a particular one, feel free to, you can say it right now in chat, or you can go to my community tab on the YouTube and on the YouTube side and put that there, or as well as any other suggestions you might have. So yeah, that's about it. And thanks for showing up after I returned from my hiatus. I really appreciate it, because honestly, I was kind of expecting everyone to forget about me for some reason. Well, it became, maybe not like everyone, but yeah. I really appreciate it, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed seeing a bunch of tasty food with me, and and the bread that is breading. But and I'm excited to start playing some spooky games as well next week. But yeah, that's about it. So thanks for showing up, and thanks for following, liking, subscribing, all that stuff. If you haven't already, I don't know how to say this. And I think I'm going to raid someone. Bear Prentice. That's a good idea. Okay, I'll add that to the list. And then I'm thinking of making a poll. Berry bots. Oh yeah, I have berry bots here. I like berry bots. Bear bots. Oh, okay, bear bots. So someone liked the idea of like strawberries, because it's sort of related to blueberry, but strawberry and bear bot. We can write that down. And Bear Prentice. Yeah. I'm probably gonna find someone to raid. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you on Wednesday. And I may scream, so watch out your volume. Let's find someone to raid on Twitch. But if you have any more suggestions in the future, feel free to leave them on... Feel free to leave them on my, my community tab comments. I will ask for them again. Yeah, I'm gonna find someone to raid on Twitch. Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place today. One last note is that these little stream avatars are only on Twitch. I don't know if any of you heard it at the beginning of stream. But that's because this app that I'm using, it's not actually stream avatars, it's something else. It's called Dino Market. And if you would like to join, you just have to use the exclamation mark join, all lowercase, on Twitch chat, and you can join. But yeah, I want to see how this goes out. I'm sort of experimenting with the avatars, and we'll sort of see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna raid someone, or find someone to raid. Oh, Tsuki is singing! I want to write Tsuki! Tsukiyaki! Or I mean, I should say Yaki is singing, not Tsuki. So I will drop their info. I'm not used to this chat. I kind of forgot. Dang, I missed the food photos. Yeah, I'm just about to end stream and raid someone else. It's okay, the VOD is always here. Where am I going? This person is an amazing singer, so if you can, I'd appreciate if you said hello, but if not, that's fine too. Let's see. Type my raid message. So here's raid message. And We shall be rating them in just a few seconds. So I'm gonna switch to the end screen. And we'll be rating hold on. I will be rating in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beep boop. Bye everyone!